I look slightly less homeless this week, Conor.
What, because of the shave?
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, you mentioned that you liked it last week, that I was hairy.
Yeah, I did.
And then I was looking at the footage and I was like, that's not nice. That's not a good look. That's horrendous.
I was going to do it today, trim, but
Yeah, you're a bit furry, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a furry.
You are a furry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Shaving's a pain in the ass, man.
It is.
Yeah, when you're younger, you're like, I want a beard. I want to be a man. And like, it's fucking
annoying.
Now when you get it, it's like so annoying.
And like when you let it grow as well, it gets thick. So when it's like mine's quite thick, so it's like actually a little hard to getting harder to shave.
It actually hurts when I go and shave. Like it genuinely hurts because like my blade's going against my thick beard and like my moustache. Like when it gets too long, it starts going down your lips, and you gotta do it like that. I hate it. I hate it. But you know, it is what it is.
That's 2 episodes in a row that we've started the show off by talking about our facial hair.
Yep.
What we do want to talk about first, though, is this little clip from Supernova Melbourne of Christopher Eccleston talking about returning for the 60th.
Are there any other doctors, past or current, that you'd actually really like to collaborate with on one of those projects?
I'd have to dig them up. No, I've never been a fan of multi-doctor stories. When I worked on the series, I had really strong ideas, surprise, about what works and what doesn't. And I always think that multi-doctor stories are a bit of a cash-in and a bit of exploitation. Creatively, they never worked for me. I looked at the script for the 50th anniversary, and I felt as soon as I said I wasn't doing it, it got better. Because, if I'm not in it, it's better. But, the creation of the War Doctor introduced a whole new facet to the canon. I know it made some people anxious, the fundamentalists, but, the father of us all is William Hartnell, but the greatest Doctor is Jodie Whittaker, so... The Ninth Doctor in particular is a one-man band, definitely. So he doesn't work with other Doctors. If you want me back, you get me on my own.
Preach it, sister.
He really knows how to work a crowd, hey?
Yeah, he does, hey. He
really does.
He's loving it. He's chewing up the scenery.
He knows how to work a crowd. The man gets it.
Yeah. So my biggest takeaways, one is it was kind of cool that he was relatively invested in the show. Like, I know that he'd met with Moff about the 50th.
I didn't know that.
Didn't you?
No, because when he said that, he read the script. I was like, what the fuck? That's news to me.
No, because when they were prepping for the 50th and stuff, I think it was afterwards. So remember how John Hurt regenerates and you just start to see Eccleston slightly, but then it cuts away kind of before it properly shows it. And someone online went and very quickly made like a proper CGI regeneration, pretty much fully.
I remember seeing that, yeah.
And people were like, why did you guys cut it off so quick? And Moffat said, look, I met with Eccleston, and he made it pretty clear he didn't want to be involved. So we felt like it would be, we didn't want to imply that he was involved by having him regenerate into him. So he said he'd had like a chat and they'd gone out for coffee to talk about the 50th. Didn't know he'd read the full script and stuff. But I also think it's cool that he knows about John Hurt and that he obviously followed it after he said no, because the first draft, the War Doctor, was the Ninth Doctor, well, at least from what we think.
Interesting take. So he doesn't like multi-Doctor stories, so he completely can rule out the fact that he's going to be in the 60th.
Well, yes and no.
Or can we?
This is my other takeaway. This is the first time he's kind of been like, I guess the story wasn't necessarily like, the question wasn't necessarily, would you come back? But it was like, he kind of, usually I feel like he shuts this kind of thing down. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to come back.
When hell freezes over.
Yeah. Whereas this, he was just like, I'm not going to do a multi-Doctor story. So maybe if the rumors are true and next year we have a series of lovely specials for the 60th that all feature one Doctor each,
that could be true.
Maybe you could have an Eccleston one, and maybe there's like one scene that connects him in with the other Doctors or something. Yeah, that was my takeaways.
The whole thing is crazy, and you know what, I heard this rumor yesterday that there's going to be like an announcement before the airing of the fucking Legend of the Sea Devils. I heard thing.
I think a special one afterwards.
That's it, yeah. Which is just whack. But regardlessly, I still can't wrap my head around the idea of them doing this like one Doctor per episode thing. Does that mean Jodie gets her own episode? It's just whack to me.
Yeah,
that she regenerates just to come back
a
couple of episodes later. Like, it's so... I'm not saying don't include her, like, go ahead. I'm just saying, like, I don't know how we can do a grand final. But, hey, it's been done with Matt Smith and Deep Breath. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you don't know.
It also depends how no, I think we know it's pretty clear there's a regeneration now at the end of the centenary, isn't there? So she's not going to carry over.
So.
Yeah, it's crazy time.
Well, since we're actually speaking about the movie, something really interesting happens in that when basically Sylvester is in the first 20 minutes. Like, what if they did something like that for...
Yeah, so Jodie comes back and gets shot to death.
Maybe shot to death or something like that could happen. She could technically be in it for like maybe like 20 minutes and then...
Yeah, maybe.
We're all speculating bullshit.
I feel like these days that's not going to happen just because everyone wants that big send-off. Like, this wasn't exactly a big farewell to Sylvester kind of thing, you know. This was...
out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah, this is just a very quick, just for the fans, you know.
Well, yeah, it's interesting what he said, and I don't know. Surely if he is, he would have been signed on by now. So it doesn't sound like he said that. It doesn't sound like he
got a hair on your face.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
It doesn't sound like he is signed on to anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe it's just like an actor and he's just acting,
just acting away. Maybe as well, he doesn't want to do any of that in Big Finish. Like, he doesn't want to go up against other Doctors in Big Finish or something.
Maybe.
Which is a shame, because I feel like everyone was kind of maybe expecting that to finally happen through Big Finish, because he froths Big Finish. But yeah, that's that. That's exciting.
Why can't we just get it, man? This sucks.
Give it to me. But also, it's like, he's right. You know, he later goes on to say that his Doctor was very much like a one-man band.
It's true.
And I kind of do get that. I don't know that he would be the most fun Doctor to have with other Doctors, you know? Like, Pete with any other Doctor will be amazing and hilarious. We know that 11 and 10 are great with each other. I feel like all those other Doctors that are a little bit more charismatic will be great. But I do kind of agree that Chris's Doctor does, I think, work best on his own. I do think it would be cool to have him come back for like a couple of scenes in there. But yeah, I especially considering how tight his story arc is. Like, I know you could do a little bit before Series 1 like Big Finish is doing. But like, I don't necessarily... I don't need Chris back. As much as I would love it, I feel like it's like a want and not a need. You know, like, I want him back because I love him. He's great. But do I need him? Like, he's not... I think his Doctor's so perfect in Series 1.
Yeah.
And that bringing him back
suit it really well.
might not be as great, especially if they slightly change his performance and stuff. Like, he's a lot more brighter and lighthearted in Big Finish. And I wouldn't want them to do that in live action form. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, I feel like. Well, either way, I know I say this every damn week, but surely we're going to hear soon. You know what I really want? I want it to have the big news on the week that we film our 100th episode.
That would be
lovely.
Fucking
great.
Dude, imagine.
It'll give us something really
I don't
great
think we'd even be able to review the Day of the Doctor on that episode. We just have to talk about that.
Yeah.
I actually was thinking that the other day. I was like, the day that announcement comes out, I think we would have to not review an episode for that. Because, we'll just have so much to say, and it's not fair on the episode.
Well, what I've been thinking of doing quickly as a quick side note is...
Hit me.
Is little clips, maybe. Like, take little... If we're going to, like, review an episode where we talk about, like, a big topic for, like, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of maybe, like, clipping it and putting it out on the channel as its own, like, video.
Yeah,
so people don't want to
before,
actually watch the review for the episode we're reviewing, but want to hear our thoughts on this thing. Like that, and then, like, I put in little brackets, like, this was taken from so-and-so episode. Yeah. So, again, I got things I want to do. But,
totally. So much stuff and things. Like Conor said, we're doing the TV movie today. Doctor Who Goes to the Movies.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. And you're going to hear us talk about it on the 50% Doctor Who podcast, baby.
Let's get it. 50% podcast.
Also want to apologise last week for my audio being so annoyingly loud compared to Conor's. I did what I could in post for it, but Yeah, look, sorry. Hopefully it's not that bad this week. Connor, talk for me. I'm going to look at the levels.
Hello, everybody. This is Conor here.
I actually still think I'm a bit
the
loud.
25% of the 50% Doctor Who podcast.
That's
here
him.
reviewing the Doctor Who
Connor.
TV movie, which I believe didn't even air at the movies because it's a TV movie.
It's a TV movie, so yeah, no, it didn't.
Like the 50th, though, that aired at the movies.
Yeah. Okay, so...
It's not really a movie, though.
Like always, a little bit of housekeeping. Fucking hell. One day, I'll get this intro done really well, and I won't stuff up my words once. I am Aidan. This is Connor. We like to talk about Doctor Who every single week.
And it never gets old.
It never gets old. Not once. I don't know why that was so sarcastic. You can follow us over on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor, and you can watch the footage if you're not already over on YouTube at the 50% Doctor Who podcast, or you can just find us anywhere via the Linktree in the description below.
Love it.
How's that?
I love it. It was good.
Yeah, we got there. So TV movie today, and that's a lot of fun. Connor, have you ever seen the TV movie before?
Nah.
Well, that's
this
good.
This was my first time.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I watched like 15 minutes of it moons ago.
I saw it a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Like
okay.
I didn't really remember it, to be honest.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I heard bits and pieces about it. Obviously, Paul McGanns' Doctor's like his only appearance until Night of the Doctor, which I believe we're touching on at the end.
Which we are going to talk about later in the show.
There's only
the
two
Doctor.
things, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah. So, the film, the TV movie, was the first attempt to revive Doctor Who following its suspension in 1989. It was intended as a backdoor pilot for a new American-produced Doctor Who TV series. It introduced Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor in his only televised appearance as the character until the Night of the Doctor in 2013, though McGann has portrayed the Doctor also in various audio productions. It also marks the final appearance of Sylvester Mccoy as the 7th Doctor, the only appearance of Daphne Ashbrook as companion Grace Holloway, and the only on-screen appearance of Eric Roberts' version of the Master, although he has since reprised his role in the audio dramas for Big Finish. Although a rating success in the United Kingdom, the film did not fare well on American television and no series was commissioned. The series was later relaunched on the BBC in 2005. The only Doctor Who episodes between the film and the new series were the 1993 spoof Doctor Who and the Curse of the Fatal Death and a 2013 animation, The Scream of Shalka. Scream of the Shalka. So, TV movie. Big topic. 85 minutes long. Paul McGann. What I thought interesting then was Daphne Ashbrook. I don't think... So has she not returned to Grace? Oh, I've got no internet. That's great. She's not done Big Finish then, I guess.
I think so, no.
That's interesting, isn't it? That's very interesting.
Yeah. I also in Night of the Doctor, he lists all his Big Finish companions, and he didn't mention her.
Yeah, I picked up on that as well.
I thought he would have.
It was just all of his Big Finish hoes.
Yeah.
Sorry, not hoes.
I think there's a bloke in there as well.
Yeah, I've heard I've listened to two 8th Doctor Big Finishes. One's The Chimes of Midnight, which is probably the best Big Finish ever to exist.
Maybe talk about that, yeah.
And then I've also listened to Dark Eyes Volume 1, which was really good. It's got Toby Jones in it, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Dobby.
Yeah.
And introduces a really cool companion.
Dream Lord, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Dark Eyes is what launched his new look as well. Like, when they went, and I think it was in 2012, they redid the Paul McGann look, which is what you see in the 50th.
In the 50th, yeah.
Yeah, because he looks, all of the cover art for all the ones prior to that, I think all has like the long hair and and stuff.
Okay.
All right, TV movie plot, if there is any, it's the Doctor has to take the Master's remains back to Gallifrey because the Daleks exterminated him.
Yeah, Scarrow.
And then it doesn't happen. He gets shot on Earth. Regenerates into Paul McGann. The Master turns into a cum snake and goes and infects a person who becomes the Master.
A security guy at the hospital.
Some guy called Eric Roberts. Jokes, that's the actor. Fucking, I don't know, man. And then Eric Roberts' Master wants to get the Doctor's lives or something.
Yeah, so he opens this thing in the
Opens the Eye of Harmony.
Yeah.
Bananas, balls to the wall.
What a whack.
Sounds like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Connor, tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, really? I thought you hated it.
No, I liked it.
Okay.
It's just so whack, though. This is how I felt watching Miracle Day, in the sense that it's a British TV show with British characters, but it's set in America, and Miracle Day was a Stars production as well, and this is very similar in the sense that it was going to be rebooted as like an American produced series. Not my favorite thing ever to happen to these shows because it's just weird in a way.
Yeah.
It's so whack, and like it's just I don't only watch one episode of McCoy, but it's like kind of weird to like all these years later he's in like a brand new TARDIS, which is very beautiful, by the way.
It's the best,
very
probably
beautiful.
the best TARDIS.
It's so
design,
cool. It's like an actual house. Like,
yeah, and it's
pretty sick.
I love the libraries there that you can sit. It feels more like a ship.
It's
and
like a
also
ship.
like there's a reference in there where he's like, oh, that's 1 billion light years away, but in the TARDIS it'll take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I like that you can't just hop around. Like, I wish that this was a more consistent thing, because they do it in Revolution of the Daleks, where the Doctor's talking to Ryan and they're sat on the steps and they're like, oh yeah, we'll be at this place soon, but they've actually got to wait for the TARDIS to travel there.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Like, I don't want it to be like they have to do a half-hour trip, but it just means it stops them having to being able to like quickly run back in time and
I noticed that. I noticed it said 10 minutes.
Yeah, I rate that. More of that.
You see the cloister bells as well, the actual bells.
Yeah.
You actually see the bells.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. Yeah, it's I do feel for Sylvester a little bit. He's in it for literally just over 20 minutes, I checked.
And he has like 3 lines.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And he's like, Oi.
Oi.
He literally he gets fucking shot. Like, he literally just gets, Oi.
Yeah.
And he just, that's it.
Yeets it out. Yeah.
And he gets like surgery and then he regenerates, and it's such a whack story. And then Paul McGann comes into it, and it's like, it's American. And was the director American? Or
No,
was
it was
he?
UK.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely an interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie which is just whack. I don't know. I just think the whole thing was really odd, but I actually did like it.
It was very odd. But I loved the feel of it. I know like you weren't huge on the American stuff of it, which yeah, that's not really the bit I like about it. But I love like it did feel like a 90s American family movie, and I kind of vibed it like. It's just not the type of thing that you kind of get made anymore. It looks nice because I think it's all shot on film, and like it just feels like different and kind of warm in a way. Although it is, I think, a little bit too dark, but it's cool. The score, may I just say, one of the best renditions of the Doctor Who theme tune.
It's really cool.
That title sequence is so good. And then even like the score throughout the episode, there's like a bit where it's like dun 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 dun, like this shit when he's like running around the TARDIS at the start. I love that. I thought it was great. The rest of the score was a bit but there was just like a couple of bits of score that I was like, this feels like a cheesy 90s sci-fi movie, and I'm kind of there for it.
Yeah, remind me of the Terminator heaps. Like,
Yeah.
Especially the Master being like, it's sludge that goes into like a body and it's taken over, and it's like...
Classic
it's like
motorbike chase.
The
sequence as
motorbike,
well.
he's wearing sunglasses and a fucking leather jacket, and it's like, oh my lord.
Yeah. Eric Roberts
yeah.
wasn't as cheesy as I remember as the Master.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just after who was played prior to this, it's
Different.
It's
It's
chalk
so
and
American.
cheese, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazily different. By the way, did you notice I read in the comments of some fucking video somewhere that the I don't know if you noticed in the intro it has like the similar style to RTD's opening titles, because it has like the red and the circles
yeah, it
and
does,
stuff.
hey. Yeah.
So it's inspired by that.
Yeah. There you go.
Which is cool. It's good to see someone got a bit of inspiration from the movie. I know. Do people look at it as a good thing? Do people actually like it, or?
I think it gets. I think people are growing to like it more and more with time. I think a lot of people didn't like it at the time, but then I think it's grown on them. I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Well, McGann is the best part of it.
He's really good, isn't he?
Easily.
He's so fun. I actually quite like the Grace character.
Yeah, I like Grace
thought
as well a lot. Yeah.
their chemistry was kind of cool. It's kind of the first romantic Doctor Who story, you know, or the first romantic Doctor. Paul McGann is.
Yeah, until we get to the new Who, and it's literally every companion that visits
Yeah.
the Doctor. But yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She just leaves at the end, which surprised me. I thought they would go off together, so it kind of like starts. I thought when this was used as a bit of trying to be a reboot. I
That
thought
she would go with him.
yeah. So then like it would it have been a series afterwards? Or try and go for?
Yeah,
or?
I think they were going to make it a
Yeah.
series,
So I was like, well, then the companion, they can just get straight into it. But
yeah,
I
guess not.
and that's what led me again to believe maybe that she would have been in Big Finish journeys, but
No.
nothing.
So yeah, okay. We've talked a little bit about some of the characters. So Paul McGann, you really liked?
I really like Paul McGann's Doctor. I loved him. I loved him in Night of the Doctor when he was a lot more sterner.
Yeah.
But this is his first episode He is just regenerated. Doesn't know who he is yet.
Yeah.
He's more goofy.
He's definitely, you can tell that he's played the Doctor for so many years on Big Finish by the time he gets to know the Doctor.
Man,
like his performance is so polished.
It is so good.
Yeah.
It is so good. And I it makes me go, fuck, like I wish we got something. And we still probably can. Who's to say if Russell doesn't have an ace up his sleeve for good old Paul McGann, but man, I heard you so many times saying we need like a show.
Yeah, I just
and
think
I was
he's
always
so
just
good.
like, okay.
You had got so much hair on you today.
Sorry, man. I keep you get it?
No.
I keep doing. Wow.
There we go.
I keep doing this 'cause it's hot and sweaty. And my
Just
hair is
your hair
longer
all
these
over.
days.
Yeah.
We need
I
it.
like
We
Paul
need
McGann.
it. We need it, man. It's I really liked him a lot.
I don't really like his hair in the movie.
His hair annoys me.
It's a lot.
But it looks great in
Night of the Doctor.
Man, I love Night of the Doctor.
Dude, it's so good.
It is so good.
It's so fucking
I'm not
good,
trying
man.
to talk about it now, but it is so good.
We'll come to it.
We'll get
We'll
to
come
it.
to
But
it.
it is so good.
Okay, so the Master. You said
Hasta la vista.
you weren't huge on him.
baby.
I didn't mind him. I think it's weird that they turn him into, for lack of a better term, a cum monster.
It's like a weird snake, isn't it?
And then he becomes like snaky eyes and shit. Like, I guess last time we saw him, he was turning into a fucking cheetah. So what are we complaining about? But
I know, it's so whack.
yeah,
It is whack.
it is weird.
He's fine. I liked how they spoke about. There's this lovely monologue at the beginning where Mcgann's speaking over. Like it just shows like he's like at the end of my 7th life. Like I love that stuff. He's like talking about like in my 7th life, and it's just McCoy in the Tardis with a new costume, a new Tardis. He's reading books. He's got like a vinyl player on, drinking tea, and we get to see the Daleks briefly, I think, or hear them.
I think like you don't actually see them. I think you just see like the ear pieces go, and it's like hundreds of the ear pieces.
Yeah, and then you hear
exterminate. It's really high pitched.
It's very, very high pitched. So I like how they mentioned the whole 12 lives thing.
Yeah, that's cool. The other bit of lore that's weirdly was created in this episode that I think a joke gets referenced about it in New Who at some point or something, but the Doctor being half human is brought up in this story, which is not a thing. But in this episode, for some reason, they just made it a thing.
Yeah. That is weird, isn't it?
I guess it's a joke. I guess
it must
Paul
be a
McGann's
joke.
having a laugh.
Yeah, it must be.
It wasn't though. Like at the time, like it was.
But maybe they were trying to like rewrite it a little bit into like for a new audience. I got that impression a fair bit, but yeah, it was. I can't go over the fact that McGann was in it for like. Sylvester Mccoy was in for like 20 minutes, and he just like he literally the Master breaks free. He's taking his ashes to Gallifrey, I believe. Yeah, he's going to Gallifrey. Yeah. And then he like just parks outside and gets shot.
It's pretty bizarre.
It's pretty.
It's
fucking
not even
whack.
like they don't try and like they surely like just to give him like a last moment, like make him like stand up against the mafia or something and give him like a monologue to talk him down, and then he gets shot. Maybe that'll come off kind of funny. I don't know.
If he just walks out. And
but
gets
rather
shot.
than just having him walk out, just give him some little bit of material for his final scenes.
But I really understand why they did Night of the Doctor, because like why they brought Sylvester back, because you see every Doctor regenerate now.
Well, they brought Paul back. Yeah.
So every Doctor, you see their regeneration, and you see them. Well, you see the next Doctor getting regenerated into, and then you see that Doctor regenerate into the next Doctor. Yeah, exactly. So you do see every regeneration. So I do understand that if they didn't bring back McCoy for this, you wouldn't have seen him regenerating. And I know they did Night of the Doctor years later, but like that's why they did that, I believe. Yeah, probably the biggest reason, so they can show him regenerating to John Hurt. Yeah. I like that, but I do feel sorry for Sylvester McCoy. It's like, you're coming back. Do you get shot and die?
I think that was like always the pitch. I don't think it was ever going to be Sylvester the movie, you know.
Yeah, fair enough.
What do you think of Grace Holloway by Daphne?
I actually really liked her character.
Yeah, same. I thought she was real fun, and she didn't like. She's obviously American, but it wasn't like it didn't feel like. I felt like on Miracle Day, it was years. I don't think I've watched Miracle Day since it came out. But there was like American characters that played a big role, but it didn't seem to fit with what Torchwood was, like being a very British show. But I don't know, she wasn't, and I don't mean this in like an offensive way or anything, but she wasn't like overly American where it took away from like the Britishness that is Doctor Who. Like I think the two, it was like Paul McGann being very British, and then I guess Americans in movies can quite often be portrayed in like a silly, like quite a dumb light and stuff like that. So it was nice. I think she was like really intelligent and stuff. I really liked her character.
Dr. Mysterio.
Oh God, when we get there,
like really American, like
yeah.
Oh
my God.
Yeah, but she was really good.
Doctor.
I like there's jokes about her like boyfriend being like an asshole and it's like he'll move
back
in.
Get back with him. Yeah.
Like that's funny. She just really gelled with McGann's doctor. I like that she did the surgery on McCoy, who then regenerated to Paul McGann. I guess somehow there's like apart from the surgery, it's still in him, and it was quite graphic because he's like pulling out like this. It's like a bit of like. What's it called? Like stitching or something? Yeah. Bit of stitching still in there. I guess somehow when you regenerate, the stitching stays in your body.
I guess.
I'll let it slide.
Well, it's like how they wear the same clothes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But this is like this is matter. This is body. This is a body. It all changes.
They had a lovely scene when they're just like outside, like, and they're all cheering, and that's when he mentions being half human. I think they kiss or something.
Yeah, a lot of smooches.
A lot of smooches. We also should say the time that it was set in. It was made in 1996, but it was set at the 2000, the millennial New Year, which I think is a great setting.
It's a great setting. Well, that's why when you were saying before about it being quite magical, I feel like there is something quite magical about New Year's Eve. It's like it's the end of the old. It's like the beginning of something new. It's
the first ever New Year's Eve special.
Yeah. Oh, Chibnall. Do you think this is where he got it from? He's like, that worked there.
Maybe, although this came out, when did this come out? On the 12th of May, 1996. So
the fuck?
Wasn't exactly celebrating any form of New Year, but hey.
I remember this being on the TV in the UK.
Really?
And my mum was scrolling through channels, and I was like, what? Doctor Who, the movie? This was when I watched, like, a couple of seasons.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I think, no, just season 1. And Mum was like, nah, you don't want to watch that. Trust me, it's really bad. So, like, I remember people were just, like, disregarded it as, like, not being good. Mm-hmm. So, and like, I'm sure it was like kind of looked at as a bit of a cheesy 90s movie, but I can see what they were going for. I am quite shocked they didn't give it a chance as like
a series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think I don't know, it didn't quite work, and I think the ratings is the biggest thing. I could tell.
What were the ratings like? Were they okay? Or?
I think it was about 5 million in America, which definitely wasn't a lot for the time. But then UK was like 9 or 10 million, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, and you could tell they'd kind of tried to adapt the movie to be more of like American sci-fi in terms of like, it feels kind of like an episode of The X-Files, which I think Vinny's a big fan of The X-Files, I think, and I think that might explain her review.
Okay.
What did you think of the sort of other main character in here, who is Yi Ji-so, played by... Yi Ji-so is the actor who plays Chang Li.
I was so confused by this character because, like, he's sort of like...
It's not very good.
He gets the doctor shot, and he steals his stuff, and he goes to hospital to see if he's okay. Like, he even calls the ambulance, and then he sees if he's okay. Then he takes his stuff and runs away to the police. And then the master grabs him. He's like, no, fuck you. And then he works with the master. He goes into the TARDIS. The master kills him. He comes back to life. And the doctor's like, come here, friend, with me. And then there's just like, there's like this really cool shot of them all in the TARDIS. And he's like pulling down a lever. And it's like, they're all together. And he's just there. And I'm like, hang on a minute. And at the end, he's like, I got your stuff back. And he's like, I'll just take the Sonic. You can keep the rest. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's so whack.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like, they didn't use the Sonic at all, but this is the first appearance of the Sonic since, I believe, the first season of Peter Davison.
Okay.
Because his Sonic breaks in one of his early stories.
And
then Colin Baker has no Sonic, Sylvester McCoy has no Sonic, and then, well, I guess Sylvester McCoy gets one by the TV movie, but he doesn't have it in Survival or anything. So that's quite interesting. Yeah, I didn't really like Chang Li. I just thought it was just very plain, wasn't it? Like, it wasn't...
Weird. It's just a strange character to throw in, and like, they didn't know what to do with him, and he kind of just like... He just flopped from like side to side. He was like on the master side, then he wasn't.
Yeah.
There's even a weird scene where at the end, like, Grace just gets like possessed, and that stuff just kind of like annoyed me. It just felt predictable and just kind of lame. And I know it was old, and I'm sure it might have been new when people watched it. But like, you know, the whole master thing, it's like, it was like in the TARDIS, and you just knew it was going to get resolved last minute. Like there's this countdown scene, which I admit was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was.
And it was shot in an interesting way,
cutting between it all and stuff.
I like the directing quite a bit actually. There's some really cool shots.
Yeah, there is some cool stuff. It's just I think the script for me, it just like feels like it's just going from like place to what is it, like a MacGuffin movie? Is that what it's called? Like Rise of Skywalker, where you're just like going from place to place to place to place. Oh, that thing that we just did doesn't matter anymore because this thing's happening. Let's go here. Like I don't really like, and they just ended it by rewiring the TARDIS or something. Like
literally, yeah, just
really
like two cables, kind of.
Yeah. It felt a bit like dumb time travel to me.
Yeah, it's a very simple idea. Like I remember being halfway through and I'm like, okay, all they got to do now is run the TARDIS and stop the Master. Like there wasn't really any like, what's the climax really? Like what was the there wasn't really much of a story. It's like the Master escaped, got into a body, and he got into the TARDIS, and then the Doctor's like, all right, we need to go to the TARDIS to stop him. There's nothing really in between.
I like the big surgeon guy that's there like having a party on
the party, yeah. Oh my god.
And then there's the guy that's like,
dude, it's so weird. It's so whack. There's a funny ass shot where like the mask is in the face in the camera, and then he pulls up, and it's like,
cool though.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just whack. This one of my favorite things, and I think one of the coolest scenes, directing wise and like set design wise, was when the Paul McGann first comes out of the fridge, the ice fridge where the bodies are.
Yeah, and
it's like Frankenstein's plane.
Yeah, cross-cutting. That was really good.
The shot of McGann's face with the TV playing.
Yeah, and it's
just alive!
Yeah, really good, really clever, I thought. I really liked that.
And he's like walking through, like going like, what am I?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That
really
stuff,
cool.
I thought...
You're right, it was pretty well directed.
I think it was well directed. I actually really liked the direction.
Yeah. And I think... obviously we spoke about the Tardis Interior, which was really good, and the exterior was cool as well. But also, like when you see the other rooms in the TARDIS, this is how you do it right? Like even though I'm not quite sure what the fuck was going on in that room, but it was like this cool like gothic design.
It was very gothic.
It just looked awesome.
Dude, all the staircases, like it's in Hogwarts or something. Like
dude, it was sick.
Really, really cool stuff.
It was sick. There's so many nice like photos, like photo shoot photos for the TV movie on there. And
yeah, really when I used to like play Doctor Who in my head when I was a kid, like I'd always imagine that my TARDIS like that. Like it wasn't just like the console room. Like it would be like massive areas.
Yeah, because I think that's what New Who gets wrong. It's just like
you don't see anything.
You get to see more, but it's just a metal corridor, and it's the same corridor. You just keep running through it.
Literally, you pretty much just see the console room and that's it.
Yeah,
a CGI pool,
swimming pool,
with the flippers, the CGI flippers.
Okay, last little thing. We have spoken about this quite a bit already. But Sylvester Mccoy is the Seventh Doctor. What do you think of his performance?
I love his Doctor.
Yeah,
and I love that you could tell he was like, well, Ace is gone. Like I said, new Doctor, new costume. Sorry, new TARDIS, new costume. You can tell he was at the end of his life. Like he's, no offense, visibly older. Not being ageist, just the facts. How long was it? It was like 7-8 years after.
7, yeah.
Yeah,
probably shot like 6.
Yeah. You could tell that he was older. It just starts. I'm like, there's history in between those years. I kind of wanted to know what happened between.
Big finish.
Where's Ace?
I felt like his performance was a little reserved. I felt like he was almost a bit timid to be back. I don't know. Probably wrong. But like, I feel like in his era, he's always like yelling stuff and screaming. But in this, I mean, he didn't have a lot of dialogue to work with. But like, even when they're operating on him, I felt like he was like. He wasn't like screaming like I felt like he would be. Even though he was putting up a fight, it just felt a little reserved for me. I don't know. I still liked him. Glad
the man's matured, Aidan.
He has matured. Yeah, he doesn't yell as much anymore.
With peace and love, like he knows he's coming back to do like 20 minutes of screen time just for someone else to come and
getting paid $1.
I mean, really?
No,
it's like when I watched Adventure in Space and Time yesterday, and you get to see how Hartnell felt when he got replaced. Like. This shit would have... I know now it's with the regenerations, it's a lot more accepted, and you're like, I'm passing it on. I'm sure for the classic Doctors, it wasn't like that.
I think it was.
Maybe, but like, I don't know, like, but like you said last week with the, Sylvester McCoy, you felt like he felt like he was the reason why the show kind of went to a shit place.
Yeah, but that's because the show got cancelled.
I know, but like, maybe when he came back and like someone else taking over, he was like, this is something I just couldn't do, but now someone else can. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
apparently
I'm reading too much into it, but
I read that he made like a pact ages ago to if the show ever got another chance, that he would pass on the baton.
Oh, okay.
Because I know. Oh, here's one. Yeah, there's a good example here that supports your argument where Colin didn't want to come back and do a regeneration because the BBC were like, no, like we don't like the way Doctor Who is with you in it at the moment. We're going to bring in Sylvester. And then he was like, really, I'm not coming back then. And so that's why Sylvester's first story just has Sylvester in a wig on the floor with a bit of regeneration energy coming on him. And then the regeneration takes away his Colin Baker wig and he turns into Sylvester.
Right.
And they roll him over. Like, you don't actually see a proper regeneration or anything.
Right, yeah. Well, that's kind of what I mean. I don't know. But it's like a lot more... now it's... I don't know, even Eccleston didn't really have a nice regeneration. I guess it's only a new thing.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but I liked him a lot. He's definitely been my favourite Doctor on this rewatch.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
He's really whack, and I just find him funny.
Yeah. All right, let's jump ahead to 2013, the night of the Doctor. Paul McGann's back for the first time in what's that, like 19 years, I think?
That's crazy.
He's obviously done Big Finish in that time, but first on-screen appearance. And it's really solid. For me back then, I remember the marketing of this being like, will it be John Hurt? Will it be David Tennant? Will it be Matt Smith? Who's it going to be in this mini episode? And then the first line of the Doctor is like, I'm the Doctor, but probably not the one you're expecting. And it's like, Moffat, you're so good.
Yeah.
You're so good, mate.
Yeah, it's written by Moffat.
Yeah,
awesome.
It is so clever. Such a lovely thing to do in celebration of the 50th, I think.
Man, you're not wrong. I really hope they do stuff like this for the 60th. I know the 50th was the 50th, but like they did Night of the Doctor, they did Adventure in Space and Time, the Five-ish Doctors, they did some fucking awesome stuff.
Yeah, I really want the Five-ish Doctors too.
We need it.
Some silly sequel. I don't know what it would be, but
we need it.
I think it would be hilarious to do it like an annual tradition.
It's so cool, this little prequel. It's like only like 7 minutes, I think, 6 minutes.
Yeah, 6, 7
But
minutes,
it feels so fucking impactful.
Yeah, it's crazy how much you suddenly love Paul McGann. This was the first time I'd properly have proper memories of watching Paul McGann as the Doctor.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't really remember the movie. And he instantly hooks you in, and he's charming, he's stern. You can tell he's quite mature at that point, like he's towards the end of his life. And the way it sets up the Time War is so good and so powerful. The way that, the moment she finds out it's a Time Lord, she's like, no, you're a monster. I'm not coming with you. I'd rather die than have you help me.
Than go in the TARDIS.
Crazy.
It is so great and impactful. And you're right. It sets up the Time War. Here's the thing. We've known about the Time War since Rose, since the reboot.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's almost the writer's fault that like we've never really felt like how much it really did affect the universe until like this scene, because I feel like this truly shows how much it fucked the universe up.
Yeah, even when they see the
crazy
when they see the Sisterhood of Khan and the chick's like, you should. I can't remember exactly what she says, but it's like you should save the universe now whilst there's still some universe to be saved or something. I can't remember what she says, but
it's really impactful.
Yeah,
because like every time, like again, I do think this is kind of like the writer's fault. But it's like, every time there's like they saw the Doctor, it's like, oh my god, it's a Time Lord. No one really was like kind of like a Time Lord. That's fucking disgusting. They did terrible things.
Yeah.
Like this really sets it into it.
You get a bit of that in the RTD era, I think.
A bit.
Like the Ragnos thing, isn't she? Kind of like,
yeah, true.
You're a monster.
They murdered the Ragnos.
Yeah. But I guess this is like the first time we've actually been in the time of the Time War, like when it's actually going on. And it's so interesting. And I thought that chick was quite good, even though she only had one scene. And then I felt like the Sisterhood of Khan were also cool. Curious if they've been in Doctor Who before. I don't know if this is a reference to Classic Who or something.
When they come back in,
Magician's
Apprentice, and I think one more other time after that.
Yeah.
That is really cool. That is really cool. I loved it. I thought it was so good. We get to see him choose the regeneration to be a warrior, which he then regenerates into John Hurt, which we see as like quite a young John Hurt, which shows just he must have been the Doctor in the Time War for a while, because he's young when he regenerates.
Ages, yeah. The only fault I can give this episode is that he like the regeneration happens, and then so quickly it's just like Doctor No More.
Yeah, it's like done. Did this air on terrestrial or was it just YouTube?
I don't know. I wasn't.
Yeah,
I think it was like a red button service kind of thing, or on the website or something. It's just
so cool. That's what blows me away. Is that it's so cool that they did this for like YouTube. Like it got loaded to YouTube. Like I remember when it got loaded. Like it was just so cool. Like
it was amazing.
Yeah.
I for the first time I got the 50th Blu-ray Steelbook last February, and I finally got to whip it out just to watch this minisode.
Yeah.
Which was lovely.
It's great. They need to do more stuff like that. I really hope for the 60th we get some goodies like that.
Some good little bonus content.
It really is just fucking cool as hell.
One of 2 prequels for the 50th, isn't it? Because there's that one, The Last Day.
Oh yeah,
remember that one?
The Gallifrey stuff.
Yeah, which I don't really remember too much. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of like facts and stuff to talk about for the Night of the Doctor. But it's just really cool that it happened. It was interesting that he got to kind of choose what body he was getting and stuff like that. That was all quite interesting.
I much prefer the costume as well.
And it is a much better costume, isn't it?
Cooler, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. And you love his Doctor, and his Doctor is so much better in it as well. I froth it. I think it's fucking great.
Here's one thing that I agree with that Moffat kind of said, and I think there's ways around it. Like I said, having him appear in different shows regularly, but Moffat said that Doctor Who showrunner Stephen Moffat indicated that a McGann spin-off would not happen, as with the exception of the anniversary, there would be only one Doctor at a time. He also indicated that McGann's appearance was less important than the fact that his appearance was a surprise, and stated that further minisodes with high production values would be produced and would be surprising for viewers and even the BBC. I don't think that ever happened. But yeah, it's... I kind of agree that for the audience it would be very hard, especially Paul McGann, who's not the most well-known Doctor. He only had one very American movie. And now that he's redesigned as well, if he got like an 8-part series, everyone might be like, oh, it's the new Doctor.
Yeah, true. Yeah, wow, yeah.
So I feel like having him play, I don't know, maybe there is ways around it where you can clearly differentiate what it is.
So long ago as well.
Yeah, totally. After the release of the minisode, fans of Doctor Who demanded a Doctor Who spin-off featuring McGann. Yeah, that's funny.
It's also, I believe, if I remember correctly, it's the first time they acknowledge Big Finish characters.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was the first. I remember everyone being like, "Oh my god, they've canonized Big Finish."
So it is canon, yeah.
Yeah.
It's always that arguing: is it canon? Is it not? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool that Stephen even did that. Mm-hmm. He seemed to care about the movie. He seemed to care about Big Finish. Respected it. This didn't have to happen, and I loved that it did. So
100%, man. All right, let's hop back over to the wonderful TV movie,
which we love.
We love. Conor, do you have any goofs this week?
No, I don't.
Neither do I. So we're going to skip over our goofy segment this week, and we're going to jump straight into a very thick, very lengthy segment of behind the scenes.
It's a thick boy.
Behind the Scenes, if you didn't gather, is the segment where we talk about the behind-the-scenes facts of the episode, or in this case, the movie, that we are reviewing.
Wow.
So there's loads of facts out there for Classic Who. So once again, I've streamlined it down. Damn, this is the last Classic Who adventure we're doing, I've just realised, for
now,
time.
Now.
I think we'll come back and do some more.
We'll hit some up soon, yeah.
Yeah. But we'll be returning very soon back to our regular schedule of battling through New Who.
Battling.
So I don't know why I said it like that.
It's
I love
like
New
such
Who.
a
It's so good.
What a fucking shit thing we've got
How
to do.
dare we have to do the 50th? So in the 80s, bearing in mind that Doctor Who got cancelled in 89, so this is when the show was still on air. In the 80s, Spielberg and Disney were the front runners that they wanted to acquire Doctor Who before it got cancelled. It was when Disney was buying all these different properties and stuff like that.
Now they own everything.
Now they own everything except Doctor Who.
I'm glad they don't own Doctor Who. Fucking hell.
So the original pitch for the TV series before it was made a movie, so they weren't originally going to start off with a movie, they were going to try and start off just with a standard series, is that it was going to introduce the Doctor and the Master, half-brothers and sons of lost Time Lord explorer Ulysses, Barusa's son. When the evil Master becomes president of the Time Lords upon Barusa's death, the Doctor flees Gallifrey in a rickety old TARDIS to find Ulysses. Barusa's spirit becomes enmeshed in the TARDIS, enabling Barusa to advise his grandson. The Doctor takes the TARDIS to the Blue Planet to search for Ulysses, the native world of the Doctor's mother.
That is so convoluted.
What batshit crazy stuff did I just fucking read? It kind of sounds like a mixture of Thor, and there was something else I got a tinge of in there, but I've forgotten. But like the two brothers with like fighting for the throne spot there.
Right, I was kind of type shit.
Oh, and it's like a little bit like Superman because it's like, you know how he always can talk to his dad when he flies to like the crystal planet or whatever. At least in Smallville, that's all I remember. And then, so after that, so some people that were considered for the role around that time were Rowan Atkinson, not Rowan Atkinson, as I've just written there, Derek Jacobi, and Jim Carrey. All three of those are interesting.
What the fuck?
That shit crazy stuff, man. So then the next time when they asked for a redo of the pitch for the show, they didn't like it. So the next pitch was, the Doctor meets a character called Lizzie in World War II London. The Doctor also discovers that his father, no longer named Ulysses, was involved in a plot to assassinate Hitler. They travel forward to the United States in 1994, where the Doctor is reunited with his father. The Master lures the Doctor and his father and Lizzie to Skaro for a final confrontation. There, the Doctor destroys the Master's time-traveling warship, though the Master himself escapes with his Daleks. This shit crazy, and I'm so glad we got what it was.
What the fuck
like,
is this
even
shit?
though the plot of the TV movie is so thin, I'm so glad it wasn't fucking this convoluted.
That's terrible.
Shit. Batshit crazy, man. Weirdly enough, the producer of the third iteration of it, so one of the ones that ended up actually producing it, wanted Tom Baker to return instead of Sylvester McCoy, and I guess because Tom Baker was the famous one, they were like, yeah, it'll be good to have him back.
Yeah, right.
But it's like then you'd be getting rid of like 3 years.
Get people to tune in.
3 seasons of history. Mcgann had to wear a wig because he'd actually cut his hair for a role just before the movie, and they didn't find out till like just before they started shooting. So maybe that's why his hair
explains
gross.
the hair, yeah.
But also, man looks good with short hair, as we know from Night of the Doctor.
Right.
Just give him the short hair. Ace was considered to return, Sophie Aldred has said. But apparently, she was a bit busy with some jobs that she did say she would have dropped if she had to. But apparently, like, the producers in the end, and I think this was the right decision, that's a lot to introduce to a new audience. Like, you're introducing a new Doctor and companion, you have to get rid of the Doctor and the companion before you then can introduce your new
wherever
Doctor
Ace
and
goes,
companion.
I'm just going to leave now.
Yeah. It's probably
just gonna
a
go.
good decision to do what they did. And, yeah, it implies that time has passed there and that there's a story to tell in there that we might never actually... No, I'm sure there's a comic out there. I think there is a comic out there, actually, that explains it. The other thing was, after filming was concluded, the cast were never called again. They shot it, and then they were like, yep, done. Never making more of that.
Shit.
That's it. We done.
Shit.
Yes, that was lots of
It's
lovely
pretty
behind
nuts.
the scenes.
This even
bananas.
exists.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Wow. Okay.
Whoa. All right. So, that was behind the scenes. Now we're going to move on to our third and final segment for today, folks. This is the segment where we like to find out what you guys think of the episode. So you can find us over on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor and send in your reviews to us every week when we ask for them. Oh, you want the sting now? Is that what that was?
Oh, I was just doing that.
3, 2, 1. There we go.
Let's go.
So I think I'm right in saying that we only have Twitter reviews today. You don't have anything from Instagram?
I forgot. I posted on Instagram.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? Yeah.
The post about our survival review, but I forgot to post about your thoughts about the TV movie.
Fine. That's fine.
So I apologise, everybody.
Over on Twitter, one poll that doesn't have anything to do with the TV movie that I quickly want to touch on is I just put a poll saying, now that 5 years have gone past, what's your favourite series of Peter Capaldi?
Season 10.
And by a landslide, Series 10 won on 66% of the votes. Season 8 and 9 were pretty even, around 16 to 17%. Yeah, it's pretty...
Yeah, 10 I reckon takes the crown.
Yeah, I'll be keen to rewatch it because I never liked it at the time. Anyways, the TV movie. Let's talk about your reviews. Let's start with Dan, who says, remember watching it as a kid and being blown away and also weirded out. Haven't watched it as an adult, but I'll say as a kid, it definitely filled me with the magic of Who as a show and a character. Very cool. Conor then says, Doctor Who meets the Terminator. Thank you for that, Conor.
It's true.
The Now That's What I Call Comedy podcast. Hadn't seen it at first, but later goes on to see it. And he says, okay, this movie is not good. Let's start with the positives. Firstly, that Tardis Interior is beautiful. The Gothic architecture is lovely, and it's the first time where it feels like the Doctor lives there. It also introduces the time rotor that goes to the roof. That's true. Classic Who, none of the TARDISes have the roof one. That's a good point. However, everything else in this movie sucks, from the cum snake version of the Master to the American version of the Master. Also, when the Doctor regenerates, he exits door number 2. Like, surely they just could have made it door number 8. I get that.
Wow.
I know it's
true.
a nitpick, but it was right there. The whole third act was just weak overall, and the love story wasn't the strongest. 5 out of 10. I've chosen a hard-hitting and controversial question for this week. Who is the sexiest Doctor? Before we answer that, he also then goes on to say, also the Daleks execute the Master and allow the Doctor to take his remains. Like, what the fuck? Since when were the Daleks sentimental? Secondly, the theme song is incredible. Paul is also a good Doctor, and I enjoyed his performance. And I like the one joke where the police officer rides his bike in and out of the TARDIS. I don't know why, but it amused me.
That is pretty funny. I don't know. We talk about that.
There's a couple of good little jokes in there.
Yeah. Just comes out screaming. He's like, yeah.
It's funny that you said about the TARDIS as well, because I read that the TARDIS was about to get scrapped, this console room, and then a fan saved it, and now there's people just come and visit it.
What? Really?
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Where would you fucking put it though?
I don't fucking know, man.
That's so cool though.
Obviously not all of it, but at least I guess the main part.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I'd do that.
Who's the sexiest Doctor, Conor?
I think Paul McGann looks really good in the Night of the Doctor.
Yeah,
obviously David Tennant is the ladies man. People love Matt. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to Pete.
Yeah.
Jodie's very beautiful.
Yeah.
But Daddy Pete.
Yeah.
He's a silver fox for sure.
Yeah. Look, I'm here just for Pete. There's actually so many memes. My friends at like a few of my other mates and stuff. I just call him Daddy Pete, and that's it. And I make jokes that I'm sexually attracted to this man, even though I'm not.
The one that you did at the you shouted really loudly at that wine tour.
Oh my god, yeah! I think I said something vastly inappropriate that I would do to Peter Capaldi at a wine tour.
Yeah,
which I wouldn't actually do. Well, maybe
really loud.
We'll see what happens when
when
inevitably he asked me to.
Hello, Peter.
Hello, Peter.
When you meet him.
All right, let's crack on with some more reviews. We've got Dan Peters.
Thank you,
Hi,
Dan.
Hope you've been well. It's been a bit since I've had a review from you. I really like it. It's a good gap between classic and modern Who. It's very Americanized, and I think that puts some fans off. For me, Paul owns the role straight away. Weirdly, I've probably heard more stories with him than any other Doctor, thanks to Big Finish. That's true. That's probably true.
Pretty much agree with that. Yeah.
Vinny says she'll love it and she'll write a proper review when she gets back from the gym.
Always at the gym, Vinny.
Always at the gym.
Queen
crushing it. I've just got to find this review. I don't think it's actually on the thread. So give me a second and I'll find that. But we've got, a variety of thoughts from everyone, don't we?
The one time, I feel like we would have actually gotten some good shit if I posted on Instagram.
Yeah.
Brain like Conor. A sieve, people. Brain like a sieve.
God.
What have I got to say?
Up your brain knowledge, Conor.
What have I got to say? Brain like a sieve. Yes.
Brain like a sieve.
I feel like doing these classics fried my brain. So once we get back to normal show,
you'll be loving it.
We'll be. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Get back to normal. Did she DM you it?
No. Here we go. Okay. Big review from Vinny here. Doctor Who, the TV movie. This bloody movie. I love it. I don't know why. It takes me back to my childhood. I remember watching it young and just enjoying it. It's so American and weird, but I don't know. I just love it. Eric Roberts as the Master. I think he's good casting. Paul McGann is so underrated as the Doctor. I think he's absolutely incredible. He's in my top 5 for sure. Maybe even 3.
Wow.
Ooh, and it's got little googly eyes I think the TV movie also paved the way for New Who. I agree, especially in the romantic terms. I agree. I can definitely see aspects of Matt Smith and DT's Doctors here. I wish we could have more of McGann on screen because he is chef's kiss. It's a good bridge between classic Who and New Who, and sort of just exists in its own little bubble. But I'll carry on enjoying it regardless. 7 out of 10. I agree, it is kind of its own little thing, isn't it?
It really is.
It gets counted as classic Who, but it kind of is just this weird...
it is.
Obscure thing in the middle.
I'm really glad it exists, though. At the end of the day, I think it's really fun it exists. I think the two things we got are really cool. Night of the Doctor is so lit, and I think...
Be so lit.
The fact that we got got them both is actually really cool. Doctor Who's got such a vast, strange history, man. Like it's such a unique piece of media.
Mm-hmm. We love it.
I do love it. I love it so much.
So all that in mind, what would you rate Doctor Who?
I'm gonna give it a 7, which I think is being really kind.
Yeah,
but I actually did have a lot of fun with it, and I love McGann's Doctor. I thought Grace was a good companion, and I like the direction a lot. And you know what? It was just different. It was ballsy, and the Doctor was great as well. So
yeah, look, I agree. I think it's so enjoyable. I think the direction's good. I think all the characters and acting and performances and all that sort of stuff is really amazing. It's just extremely Americanized, and the plot really doesn't go anywhere. 6.5 for me.
Okay.
But I was going to be a bit harsh with a 6, but I do enjoy watching it. Like, I'll happily watch it again.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like,
good shit.
I enjoyed it, you know, so...
So that's it for our classic month. You might be very happy with that. And
bonus
excited.
episode.
Was
a bonus episode, technically, because this is our 5th week.
Yeah, true. Yeah, well, that's the end of our 5 weeks of classic.
Yeah.
Next week, we're taking one final detour before we continue on with New Who.
Episode 99.
Episode 99 of our podcast is going to be an adventure in space and time, and then we'll have the Day of the Doctor for our big 100th episode. Plans are ahead. Things are moving. The cogs are turning.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow, that's in 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, madness.
Okay.
Madness.
I think we're also gonna watch Five-ish Doctor as well and touch on that.
Yeah, so we're gonna do Five-ish Doctors and Adventure in Space and Time.
Yeah, I watched Adventure in Space and Time yesterday.
Did you? That's lovely.
I wanted to show my girlfriend it, so
yeah,
it was really fun actually to rewatch it. It was on BritBox, which I can now. The other message me is like, "Are you enjoying BritBox?" I don't know why he asked me, but I was like, "Yeah, I'm done with it now. I don't know if I'll keep it, but I've been enjoying it. Sure, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff on there." But, yeah.
Cool. That's that. One last thing that I wanted to say.
Sure.
I don't even want to say it because it just feels broadly wrong.
What happened?
But no. It's nothing wrong. No, it's not. No, I just feel bad for saying this, but I just. Who knows? Maybe someone will see this and be like, yes. I put out a tweet the other day.
Okay.
And I was like, finally bought the Series 10 Steelbook of Doctor Who to fill in that gap in the shelf.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so the only thing that I need now is the Series 9 Steelbook. And then I've got a complete consistency in my collection. Mm-hmm. Series 9 Steelbook was extremely limited. And they're impossible to find. So all I'm saying is if anyone has one going spare, wants to sell it, or they don't need theirs anymore, or whatever, then just hit me up. Hit me up in your DMs. I hate to ask that, but I might. Like, literally, you can't even find them for any price on eBay.
That's bananas. Anywhere?
Yeah, they're so rare. Because it was the first Steelbook they did, and so I think they just kind of did a soft launch and just made a few of them.
Okay.
But then, they were...
Oh, boy.
They went back and made, like, the Series 1 to 8 Steelbooks.
I can tell how much this is annoying you. That would fucking suck for you.
Yeah. So now I have, like, 1 to 7 I don't have in Steelbooks. I just have them in the matching Blu-ray case from the box set. Mm-hmm. So that all looks nice because they all line up well. And then from 8 onwards, I've got in Steelbook, except Series 9.
Okay.
So I'm like, if anyone happens to ever find one or see one, just hit me up and we can have a chat. I hate to ask that, but, this is the Doctor Who show and I'm like, if anyone's going to have it, it's someone that watches Doctor Who, right? So
yeah, well, that sucks. That's crazy. Yeah, I feel that way with the vinyl, which I'm praying every week the BBC just releases like a thing going, we're just going to do like 1,000 pressed.
Yeah.
It's
bananas because it's like they were doing so well going through the Steelbooks, and then they made Series 8, and everyone was like, okay, surely they're going to do Series 9 because no one fucking has the Steelbook.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so they haven't done like a repress.
No, they haven't. And we're like, you could even just repress the Series 9 one you did. Like, we don't mind. You don't have to redesign it or anything. Just do the same one, and so many people will buy it.
To be fair, I think the BBC actually do kind of listen. Like, I'm sure if you keep asking, they might deliver. Maybe
for the 50th. Let's see.
For the 60th?
60th, yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like, I do feel like they actually listen.
Oh, well.
So do the fucking vinyls.
Do the vinyls.
I will buy all of them.
I will. Series 3 onwards, because I've got 1 and 2, unlike Conor.
No! I will buy every one of them.
And so will I.
Just, do you want my money or not? Just do it.
Give it to me!
Just listen to me! Just give me it now. How many fucking times I gotta ask?
What
I will
episode is that
literally.
from?
I will give you money. That's
Listen
from.
to me!
That's from Pandora
That's
Opens.
Yeah, that's it.
When they're locking him into the Pandora.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
That's us pinning you down from
Yeah.
fighting the
Just
the
like
BBC.
give it to me.
Give it to
Do
me.
you want my fucking money? Yes.
Yeah,
Just-
I can't believe they're releasing the classic like scores and stuff like the from classic episodes on vinyl.
me at home.
And we
bumping to
don't
it, like-
have fucking Murray Gold, you know?
Do you think it doesn't have anything to do with Murray, does it?
Surely not. Surely not. Like Series 10, I think
doubt
does.
it, surely.
But surely 1 to 9, the album's already there. Just press it on vinyl.
All I'm saying is we take the soundtrack and we put it on a vinyl.
That's all I'm saying. It's that easy.
It's not
It's
hard.
that easy.
You could put fucking banging prices on it.
You so could.
And I would
pay
buy
$1
it.
million for that.
I'd give a kidney.
And it's really not hard. I know quite a few small local bands that have like a small Perth audience, and they press vinyls of them.
That's cool.
Like
I
the
didn't know you could do that.
BBC. Do it, please. That got out of hand so quick.
Well, I'm just upset,
I'm
alright?
just a bit sad.
I just fucking want it.
All I want is a Series 9 steelbook.
It's like, come on, man. Like they listen. I will email the BBC every week. Do you know those Twitter accounts like tweeting so and so every day until they do this?
My favorite. I'm actually crying. I don't know why I'm crying.
You actually crying?
I don't know why.
You are. Oh my god. Are you crying? Actually crying?
I don't know why. It's just I think I'm
You are actually crying.
just having a moment. I don't know why.
You're not even. I'm not even joking. You are crying.
I know.
You never cry.
I know. I'm not sad.
I've never seen you ever cry.
I think I just got a bit excited.
I've
Well,
literally
a bit
never
excited
seen
and
you.
sad.
Why the fuck are you crying? I've
don't
never seen
know.
you cry. I've known you like 10 years. I've never seen you cry ever. Why the fuck are you crying? This is insane.
Just give me the Series 9 steelbook.
That's
please.
fucking crazy. Wow.
What was I going to say? I don't.
Doctor Who fucking sucks.
Doctor Who sucks. Just give me that Series 9 steelbook. There was something important. Not important, but fun.
We
to
get.
do with-
Hang on a minute. We get a new Doctor Who episode next month.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. Legend of the Sea Devils. Yeah.
We're gonna try and meet up on. We're gonna try and film it Easter Monday.
Yeah, so you'll get it straight away.
Yeah, in
How
person,
lovely.
in the flesh, here, there, everywhere.
Everywhere
And
Everywhere
hopefully
you
our 100th
go.
episode doesn't get cancelled because of COVID.
That's
if it does,
right.
we'll do like a 103rd anniversary
sure will.
special.
Connor, sing us out in song. I'm annoyed I've forgotten the other thing I was going to say. Sing us out in song, Connor.
Okay. It's Aidan
Aidan.
and Connor's podcast.
Connor's
We're
podcast.
doing Doctor Who reviews.
The Doctor Who reviews.
Episode 98, 99 next week, and then
That's
100 if COVID doesn't cancel
That's
it.
right.
What are you gonna
It's
do?
Doctor and Aidan.
It's
who
out of
do
our hand.
reviews. I
It's a
don't know
virus.
what we gotta lose.
What we
Bring
gonna
us
do?
the Doctor Who vinyls,
Soundtrack
and
on
we will
vinyl.
stop.
I will pay that.
Have that. Bring them vinyls to me. I will pay that excessive
Is
fee.
it GBP? Great British Pounds? This.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I will pay GBT.
I will pay GBP. GB. That dude. These outros get lamer. Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
Bye,
We'll see you
everybody!
next week. Bye bye.
I would pay 50 GPD.
I'd pay like
GBP.
100 GBP. GBP.
Oh, mate. GBP.